Mike wasn't all that good of a defender.
Mike who?
Jordan,
Defensive player of the year.
all that was a lot
10
of
times. I
that.
think it was 10 all defensive teams.
I ain't gonna lie. This nigga started out the gate. Yo, that's a crazy way to start this segment, dog. That's crazy. Also, FYI, for all the old heads out there who tell me, people like me, you can't talk basketball, you ain't never play. You ain't watching Michael Jordan. He played it. Rasheed Wallace played basketball and matched up against Michael Jordan. So I guess we gotta go with what Rasheed Wallace says. Rasheed Wallace says he's an overrated defender. So fuck it, we gotta go with what he says, right? Remember, that's what you said.
Man, all that was a lot
10
of
times. I think it was 10 all defensive teams. That Michael
man,
Jordan.
all that's you know what all that is, dog.
What is it?
You know what all that is. Not all that's NBA shit. Yeah, we like Mike. We gonna put him out there. Da 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 da. I'm talking about being out there. I seen this motherfucker get his ass bust where he couldn't stop a motherfucker. Yes, Mike fouled too, but no, they not gonna call the shit because the rest want to eat his dick all day. Oh no, I'm not gonna call that on Mike.
Hey, yo, we might have to start tapping into Rasheed Wallace's, man. Rasheed Wallace got a hell of a podcast. Yo, we might have to start tapping in. We might have to start tapping in because it seems like this nigga might tell y'all the truth, man. Damn. But low key, that nigga right, though. Dead ass, he's right. If you really watch, not saying that I don't think Jordan was like a bad defender. But if you watch, Jordan wasn't as good as a defender as like a lot of people make him out to be. But we'll continue. We'll continue.
A day. Oh no, I'm not gonna call that on Mike. But down the other end, oh you fouled Mike. Yeah, Mike. Hey Mike, my guy, go to the line, shoot. No, I seen Mike get his ass
When?
ate up before. Oh, against J.R. Ryder. Yeah, problem against Clyde Drexler. Shit, don't forget the early Joe Dumars. You know what I'm saying? It was again. It's part of the game.
Right.
Perfect. We all got, you know what I'm saying, our nemesis with this game.
Oh man, he gave really bad examples. Fuck Rasheed Wallace. Damn. Hey, J.R. Ryder, and I know people are gonna sit here and put up like Allen Iverson crossing him over. I don't understand why y'all sit here and use like 33-year-old Michael Jordan to make analysis on how good of a defender he was. Same thing with like LeBron. Like niggas sitting here telling me, oh, LeBron can't play. He's a bad defender over the past 3 or 4, 5 years. It's like, yeah, the nigga's 37 years old. Like, yes, of course, he's not gonna be a great defender on a possession to possession basis. The Clyde conversation is very interesting because I think Clyde got his numbers, but I've watched that series quite a bit, and Clyde wasn't the most efficient. Clyde shot below 41% from the field in that series. I also remember watching that series. There's like 2 games in that series where like Clyde just was not it. He just was not it at all.
No, if you needed a bucket, yeah. And I'm not saying that he didn't play defense. I'm just saying that to me, his defense wasn't as high as most other cats at that time. Or of course they put him on a lot of defensive teams because he might be playing weak side defense. But that's not really doing nothing. You playing the passing lane. All that take is a pump fake. You gonna bite, and I can hit your man back.
He don't bite though. He first team.
So they say.
Oh man, damn. Rasheed Wallace is like, he's losing a lot of arguments in this conversation because, I just want to be clear. Rasheed Wallace was on teams where he played very similar personnel and identity to like weak side help, being able to be the difference maker on your team, winning championships or not, or being one of some of the greatest defensive units. And I never really understand this concept of you playing weak side help or you kind of rotating and roaming around, not being real defense. When the truth of the matter is, on a given night, I'm not going to be defending the best offensive player all the time because I may not match up with that. So I still need to have the ability to be impactful defensively. You identifying the stretch of years in his career where Scottie Pippen picked up those responsibilities and Michael Jordan is able to roam around, it doesn't necessarily mean he's a bad defender. If anything, it makes him an intelligent one because there are still several players in the NBA who were in similar situations where they had weak side help, they had help, or they had like really good on-ball defenders and they needed to be weak side help and they just didn't execute in those regards. So being able to be a great on-ball defender is very important, but I would very well argue that being a great off-ball defender might be even more important because when you're playing off-ball defense, you are constantly impactful. If I'm just an on-ball defender and that's my value as an on-ball defender, when I'm going up against Clyde Drexler, Mitch Richmond, when I'm going up against Reggie Miller, it's going to be needed of me to really clamp down because I'm defending them. But majority of the league don't have 20, 25, 30-point scores at the 2 guard position. So when I'm playing the rest to the, 18, 20 teams in the league, my value just evaporates because I'm not guarding somebody who's going to be the lead scorer for the opposing team. You should still be impactful even against teams that don't have great offensive weaponry at your position. And so that's where off-ball defense comes from, because when you're playing great off-ball defense, you can be impactful regardless of the situation, regardless of the team you're facing, regardless of the sets that are being shown, regardless of the action that the opposing team is doing. Off-ball defense will be constantly valuable regardless of who you're matching up against.
I'm not saying he didn't play defense, but I don't know if that defense was worthy enough. Maybe they were looking at his offense being defense, getting guys in foul trouble, who's guarding him. And some people look at that as playing good defense because now you're out the game while I'm still in here.
But he was getting like 3 steals and a block a game too. Like he was getting busy for a minute defensively, along with the 35.
What changed his game was offense. What changed the game for them was offense. It wasn't a joint like shit. If that was the case, look at the matchups he had with Dominique Wilkins. Dominique going right back at his ass. He couldn't stop Dominique with shit. Now I'm not saying Dominique was stopping him. You know,
right, I was gonna say, yeah, I feel like
but that wasn't his. Oh man, damn. Rasheed Wallace, you're losing us. You're losing us here. Rasheed, Dominique Wilkins wasn't his matchup. That was Scottie Pippen's matchup. Oh man, you're losing me. You're losing me. I had high hopes entering this convo. Now it's dropping. It's dropping.
the NBA did though.
I know. Well, we know what that was. Who put them votes up there? It's all the media. Mike's loved in the media. We know that. Number one.
What if it's both though? What if he's also loved and a great defender?
Then it would have showed. Then he would have definitely some depoys.
He got one.
He would have some.
I feel like they was given to mostly. It was a different era then.
That
he got one as a guard. Does that say something that he was good enough to get one as a guard when they were giving it to
bigs? Because we playing defense. We the ones that's getting blocked.
Man, this argument is so bad. Damn, because by this logic, that means that he doesn't think any wings are great defenders because majority of the wings and guards don't have any DPOIs. So he has to have multiple DPOIs. Out of the handful of wings and guards who do have DPOIs, Jordan is one of them. So by his own logic, he should be one of the better defenders in the league. Oh, fuck. It's literally like Sidney Moncrief, Alvin Robinson, Gary Payton, and Michael Jordan were like really the only ones who were winning DPOIs as like wings and guards for like a 25-year span. So like
he could go score 50. His man could score whatever, and if he get 1 or 2 steals, all great defensive game. But how when you giving up just as many points as you getting?
No, that's not. You just said he scores 50, and then the player he's guarding is scoring 30. That's not 50. Fuck. Oh my God. Also, oh man, this is such a bad argument. Fuck, man. I wanna agree with what he's saying, but it's such a bad argument. Oh my God. Also, he needs to tell me who he believe are great defenders in particular on the perimeter, because by that logic, I'm almost 100% sure that Jordan and Clyde and Dominique were dropping off all those niggas all throughout the late 80s and 90s.
Bird lit that ass up.
Bird lit a lot of people's ass up.
Dominique lit that ass up.
He did that to a lot of people.
To me, from when I was growing up, I think those were his 2 biggest competitors who would go back and forth with.
But they played different possessions. Oh my God. Oh man, this is tough to watch, man. Fuck. That's like saying like Kobe's a bad defender because Dirk was like giving him the business. Like they didn't defend each other. They weren't defending each other. Oh shit.
Like you said, Magic before all-time great, Larry before all-time great. You got to get to the great part before they even make you.
Dog, they were banking on Mike when Mike was getting his ass beat every night when he first got drafted in Chicago. They were banking on Mike then.
Because they knew he was special.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying not. I never said he wasn't special.
You hate Michael Jordan.
No, I don't. I don't hate Mike. Not at all. I know Mike's a fucking great player. But in my book, Mike ain't the GOAT.
Oh man, this is this is leading down a nasty path, dog. We done veered off into a whole nother path. This is ridiculous. Oh man, if your argument, shit, Rasheed, I wanted to believe in you so bad, bro. If your argument is that Mike isn't the GOAT because defensively he's not that great, because Larry Bird and Dominique Wilkins, who were forwards, players that he wasn't defending, were going out and putting up great games against the Bulls, what are we talking about? Furthermore, the earlier years of Jordan's career, especially his first and like whatever you want to call the second season of his career, I don't think he was an elite level defender either of those seasons, and those are probably the years where Larry Bird was getting off the most. So if you're gonna sit here and argue like, oh yeah, because in the playoffs Bird put up crazy numbers against him, like I guess, but like he's not defending Bird. Man, this got really bad. And now you realize like he doesn't even believe that Jordan the GOAT, which is fine. He doesn't have to believe that Jordan is the GOAT, but you could start to believe that like you're just saying this because you're trying to push someone else in the convo. That's kind of tough. I do believe MJ gets a little bit too gassed defensively, especially with the ability to just kind of stand in front of players and quote unquote lock them down. The reality is that, you know, he played in an era where he was very privileged not to go up against too many players who were as quick and as shifty as he was. So he was never really being tested to that ability to stand in front of those type of guards. So I think that's the true reality of who Michael Jordan is as a defender. Great weak side help, great help in passing lanes, great help on bigger defenders as well. That series he had against Magic Johnson in 91 finals really outlined, even up against bigger ball handlers, he does a really, really good job. But when smaller guards were in front of him, Jordan really struggled to stand in front of them, even when he was in his younger years. Of course, towards the tail end, he struggled, but in his younger years, no. For you to sit here and to claim, and because of that, that's why many people, and I can honestly understand why, they may say he's an overrated defender. My humble opinion, I still don't believe that necessarily makes him overrated, because for the era that he played in, this type of defensive style that people are looking for him, or at least poking holes at, really wasn't that much of a liability, because again, there weren't that many shifty, quick, athletic guards that were really running the offense and putting up a lot of points. So he didn't really have to concern himself defending those type of players, so it really wasn't that much of a liability. But the whole argument of like you playing weak side help defense and that's why you're not a real defender, or you sitting here saying that he couldn't stop players that weren't even at his own position, and when you did highlight somebody at his own position in Clyde Drexler, nah bro, Clyde struggled against MJ. He struggled against MJ. He may have got his points, but that's just because he was putting up enough shots to eventually get to that mark anyway. Man, I thought this was gonna be a really good video. It's just another really bad take though. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comment section below. Do y'all think MJ is an overrated defender? Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and until next time, we'll see you all later. Peace.